What is going on, Crimson City? My name is Crimson CBAD, bringing you guys our Week 5 Team Builder. Week 5? Yeah, it's Week 5. Week 5 Team Builder of APA, your Detroit Steel Wings, going up against Coach Phantom Base and the New York Cosmogs. If you guys are excited, show some love on that like button down below. If you're new, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to go check out my opponent's channel in the description. Check out Team Builder Battle, all that fun stuff. You guys see the teams right above us here. Thunderous Incarnate, Tapu Fini, Mamoswine, Bronzong. I gotta remember to face my mic. Someone was like, you turn away from your microphone. Bronzong, Umbreon, Scolipede, Flygon, Mega Heracross, Gogoat, Aerodactyl, and Zangoose. So, big threats to our team right out the gate. Scolipede is always a huge threat to any team, given its moveset. I feel like we have a good enough, typing structure on our team to where Scolipede can't SD3 attack us to death, so that's always good. Thunderous Incarnate we're using in the GBA right now. Very fast Pokemon, very hard-hitting electric-type Pokemon. Something to note is that Thunderous Incarnate and Flygon are his two Z-move users, so that is something to remember in case they start setting up all over us. Tapu Fini with the Misty Surge, obviously preventing any sort of, it weakens grounded Dragon-type attacks, and it prevents status, too. So any sort of, like, Will-O-Wisp, Toxic, Thunder Wave shenanigans on my end won't work. Same thing on his end, if the Pokemon is grounded or not, I should say. Mamoswine hits really, really hard. Great rock setter, very reliable rock setter. Ground and Ice Stab are very, very powerful. No matter what. No matter what. Switching into that monster is absolutely huge. He's got a great defensive core. Bronzong and Umbreon. Bronzong-Umbreon combination is really, really solid. Bronzong being able to... Excuse my phone. Bronzong obviously having the Levitate or Heat Proof ability. I would anticipate Levitate to come this week, simply because I do have the Sand Core as an option to bring. Could bring Heat Proof. I don't see why he'd bring Heat Proof. My fire type is Arcanine, and Levitate just works better. He's got better mons to switch in Arcanine on. Umbreon though, we've used Umbreon in the WBE. It is very, very bulky, very good cleric, very good at what it does. It's a really solid glue to teams. Can definitely put a lot of pressure on our team this week. Definitely does a lot to us this week, so hopefully we're going to be able to work around that. Scolipede, like I talked about, very hard-hitting, very fast Pokemon with a speed boost ability. SD, like a Swords Dance set with a Life Orb, does have the chance to rip through a team. And like I said, I feel like we have a variety of enough Pokemon on this team to where he can't bring 3 attacks to hit my entire team, which is commonly a case that it has. So we just got to work around that thing. I do have a very solid answer for it, I do feel. Next up is Flygon, base 100 speed, base 100 attack, 80 is the rest. It got Dragon Dance this generation, Defog, U-Turn, Life Orb, Band Scarf. You know, it could be running Dragon Dance, Draconium Z, things like that as well. Mega Heracross hits so hard. Mega Heracross hits so hard. Things like Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, Close Combat, Pin Missile with that Skill Link ability. I mean, it's 185 base attack. Like, that's GG. That thing hits so hard. We do have things, obviously, for that as well. Gogoat, I don't really see coming. Gogoat is, you know, a little bit of a, little bit of an interesting bring. I don't think he'll bring it just because I've got Gyarados, which is a Z Captain, and I've got Arcanine, and I've got a few other things. But I don't see Gogoat coming. Aerodactyl could come. Aerodactyl's really fast. Aerodactyl's rock stab obviously hurts a lot of things on our team. And then Zangoose. Zangoose getting access to Belly Drum in Gen 7 now, and now it has priority and quick attack, so that thing could be a little bit of an issue if he does bring that. But I don't see it. You know, I see things like Hera coming. I see things like Scolipede coming, Thunderous, Umbreon, and then I would assume the Bronzong. I would assume Bronzong, and then like one random other Pokemon that he can bring. But those are the mons that I anticipate to come. Let's go ahead and talk about the team here really quickly. First up here, Tree Branch the Golbat. My biggest fear this week is Scolipede, and I'm bringing Tree Branch the Golbat this week. 212 in HP, 156 in defense, 140 speed with a Jolly nature. What does that do, Crimson CBAD? That outspeeds Jolly Mega Heracross by 1 point. We obviously knock it out with Brave Bird. We are also, the defensive investment is so we are not 2-hit KO'd by Life Orb. He needs to be Jolly for my Latios. So Jolly, Life Orb, Rock Slide does not 2-hit KO Golbat. So we can click Brave Bird on that thing. We can roost it up. Infiltrator is there in case he feels like passing speed and sub to Mega Heracross. That is not something that I need to happen at all because of that monster. So we've got Infiltrator for the, we've got Infiltrator just to go through those subs. I don't want him passing a substitute to Mega Hera with any sort of speed. That is not how I want this game to go. Inner Focus is an option. He does have a, I believe it's a 30% chance to flinch with Rock Slide if I'm not mistaken. 90% accurate move with a 30% chance to flinch. So there are two things he needs in his favor. He needs a 90% accurate move, which Pokemon is Pokemon, and he also needs to get the 30% chance to flinch. If neither of those things happen, Brave Bird kills the Scolipede, bada bing, bada boom. No worries there. If he's not Life Orb, it is, I believe Rock Slide is like a 3-hit KO, like it has a chance to. But then Brave Bird still knocks him out. So either way, this is my dedicated Scolipede switch. As soon as Scolipede comes out, Golbat comes immediately in. Golbat comes immediately in right here. We've got the bulk to take it on. Infiltrator to go through those subs, and it should make for a great Scolipede counter. That's one of my biggest things that I'm worried about is Scolipede passing into Mega Heracross. That could absolutely wreck my life. Next up here, Maximus the Arcanine rocking the Shokaberry, the Intimidate ability with Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, Close Combat, and Extreme Speed, 28 in HP, 252 attack, 4 defense, and 4 in special defense, because you don't want those EVs to go to waste. We do have the odd amount in HP, of course, to come in on rocks and an odd amount of times. And then 220 speed with a Jolly Nature. We are outspeeding Zangoose by 1 point, so we can get off a Close Combat into that thing. Flare Blitz hits a lot of things really hard. Flare Blitz hits the Oblivious Mamoswine very hard, hits Levitate Bronzong really hard, obviously takes care of the Scolipede. Flygon resists, but it's not a really good resist. Hits Go-Goat, hits Mega Heracross really hard as well. Wild Charge there for the Feeny. Flare Blitz also hits the Thundurus too. I forgot to mention that. Flare Blitz obviously hits the Thundurus too. But Wild Charge hits the Feeny, Wild Charge hits the Aerodactyl. Extreme Speed for the priority is nice, and Close Combat is there for the Mamoswine, depending on the damage roll. I would rather go for a Close Combat on that thing because I can't tell right out the gate if he's Thick Fat or if he is Oblivious. So I'm assuming he would be Thick Fat, depending on how his team mock-up looks. If it's his only rocker, I might assume he's Oblivious. But depending on rolls, depending on all that good stuff, Close Combat is typically the better play to go on the Mamoswine, just in case. Just in case. Excuse me if I sound a little congested. I'm a little under the weather this morning. And then the Shokaberry is there just to grab a ground user, you know, off, just to catch him off guard. So, something like Mamoswine, if he, you know, if I go for a Flare Blitz and he lives, he goes for an Earthquake. Shokaberry resists that. Earthquake on Scolipede, Earthquake on Flygon, Earthquake on Arrow, things like that, just to catch him off guard. Just to get him off guard. Next up here, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Serrated the Excadrill, Choice Scarf Excadrill with the Mold Breaker ability, EQ, Iron Head, Aerial Ace, and Rock Slide. 44 in HP. For that odd amount of HP, 252 attack, 12 in defense, 4 in special defense. Don't want to let those EVs go to waste. And 196 speed with a Jolly Nature. We are outspeeding Scarf Mamoswine by 1 point. Earthquake hits the Feeny, hits Heatproof Bronzong, Umbreon, Scolipede, Hera, Zangoose. Earthquake's just really good stab to have if he doesn't have an immunity left. Earthquake's just really, really good. Iron Head hits the Feeny, hits the Mamo. Hits everything that's not a resist. Aerial Ace is there for the Mega Heracross. Rock Slide is there for the Scolipede and the Iron Head probably for the Aerodactyl. So, really 4 move slot syndrome this week. Nothing too crazy here. We've got Defog on the Golbat, so I didn't want to put Rapid Spin on here. So 4 attacks, given the situation, could be very nice. Iron Head and Rock Slide for the flinch as well. Earthquake is really nice, and Aerial Ace is niche for like I said, Mega Heracross and Go-Goat as well. Should he bring the Go-Goat? Watarium Z Gyarados is coming this week as well. Moxie, Gyarados, Sub DD, Waterfall, and Ice Fang. 4 in HP for that odd number. 252 attack and 252 speed with a Jolly Nature. With this, we are outspeeding Mamoswine by 1 point. After a dance, we're outspeeding Scarf Mamo by 1 point, obviously. Sub DD is going to be really nice. Waterfall and Ice Fang do hit a lot of his mons really hard, especially after a few Moxie boosts. Tapu Fini, once that's gone, that'll be... Once Tapu Fini's gone, I mean, this thing just kind of has fun a little bit if I can get a boost or 2 up. Something to worry about is that Foul Play on the Umbreon could be a thing. But at +1, Foul Play cannot OHKO us, which is really nice. So as long as I get a clean switch into this thing, I can go for a Dragon Dance on his Foul Play. He goes for that. I go for a +1 Z Waterfall, and it's out of there. It's out of there. Nothing too crazy this week. Ice Fang is there for the Go-Goat. Go-Goat does kind of sit in the way. I wanted to do Fly Z Bounce for that, but that's very situational, and I don't think Go-Goat's coming that much. But I still wanted just an option to hit that, so Ice Fang hits that pretty nicely. Ice Fang also obviously hits the Thundurus super effectively as well, even though it's pretty frail. It doesn't want a +1 Waterfall either way. Next up here, 6th Sense. Choice Specs Mismagius this week with the Levitate ability, Shadow Ball, Icy Wind, Thunderbolt, and Trick. 28 in HP, 4 in defense, 252 special attack, 4 in special defense, 220 speed with a Timid Nature. We are outspeeding Flygon by 1 point. 3 attack Mismagius has been really, really nice to us so far. Icy Wind hits the Thundurus. Thunderbolt hits the Tapu Fini. Shadow Ball hits the Mamoswine. Shadow Ball hits the Bronzong. Trick is my play for Umbreon. If he ever switches in, if I can immediately go for a Trick, Umbreon is probably his counter to this, obviously, because he can Pursue Trap, do all that fun stuff. I want to cripple it. I really want to cripple it. I think it'd be really, really nice if we can just trick this thing as specs and then get its leftovers or something. Shadow Ball obviously hits the Scolipede. Scolipede, this is kind of another answer to Scolipede. Dual Stab on it can't really hit us. Earthquake can't hit us. Like, he'd have to have Rock Slide in order to actually touch us. So, like, it does hit, like, Mega Horn and Poison Jab do hurt, but we resist. So, not the best resist, but it still resists. Still resist. Icy Wind hits the Flygon. Shadow Ball hits the Hera. Icy Wind hits the Go-Goat. Thunderbolt hits the Aerodactyl, and Thunderbolt hits the Zangoose as well. So this is the way that we're going to cripple the Umbreon that could potentially otherwise glue his team together in a way that our team cannot break through it. So that's just something to note on that end. And then last but not least, Cabaret. Cabaret has proven to be, like, I feel like in my experience, I like more offensive fairies, but Cabaret has been putting in a lot of work. I really undervalued Aromatisse up until this league, and I really, really do enjoy her so much. Aromatisse is coming with the leftovers item, the Aroma availability. Can't be telling it, all that fun stuff. Moonblast, Wish, Protect, and Disable. 244 in HP to get that odd amount. 156 in defense and 108 in special defense. This is living something. This is living something. This was calc to live something. This was calc to live something. Mamoswine, I believe. I believe this is Mamoswine. I believe this is calc for a Mamoswine. I'll have to double check. I'll have to double check before the match. This thing does still put in a lot of work. Wish passing into things like the Excadrill, the Gyarados, the Mismagius, the Arcanine, and the Golbat. Protect is cool, just so we can find out things in case he wants to lock himself into some stuff. Disable is also really nice. Tapu Fini really can't touch this thing outside of, like, Nature's Madness, and if we can disable the Nature's Madness, that'll be pretty cool. Being able to disable moves on Mons in general, crippling them in a sense to bring in one of our other Mons to help revenge can be really nice. Or disable just so we can get up into a Wish. That can be really cool as well. This is also another good Umbreon check. Umbreon can't do anything for this except for, like, Click Toxic. So anytime Umbreon comes in, if the Mismagius is down, we bring this thing in. Make some doubles, Moonblast around. You know, he can obviously Wish, I can obviously Wish. I can also disable his Wish too, in case he feels like trying to 1v1 me. But, yeah, no, I really enjoy Aromatisse. I really think it's a really solid glue to the team. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what Aromatisse can do this week. All that being said, that is our team builder, guys. If you have enjoyed, show some love on the like button down below. Don't forget, check out my opponent's channel in the description of this video. Hope you guys are excited for tomorrow's battle. All that being said, I want to remind you guys to be great and do great. I'm going to let this outro bang. I'm going to talk to y'all soon. Later.